Hello there my precious little eggies, I finally got my hands on a Holga, specifically the Holga 135BC. The camera was a very generous gift from FX9750G2. I was very excited to take it out and shoot some photos with it. I took all of these photos during Holga Week 2021. For those of you who are into the whole Holga and lomography thing, you know that Holga Week was over a month ago, but that's honestly pretty on brand for this channel, so you know the anthem, not the Good Charlotte song, the Blink-182 song, damn it. A day late, a buck short. That's me. I shot 3 rolls of film, an expired roll of Fujifilm Superior 400 which was given to me by my friend Heather, thank you very much Heather, a roll of TriX 400 which was sitting in my room for a while, and actually I think I started shooting it and then rewound it, so there is an accidental double exposure in there, but that's a different story. And for the last roll I decided to go full lomography and use a roll of Lomochrome Purple. I thought Lomochrome Purple would be the right choice because we're about to enter the winter months and there's not going to be a ton of green left in my area. Lomochrome Purple turns greens purple, so without green the film's not as exciting. I'm not particularly in love with Superior to begin with, but in my experience with expired film, a lot of times the color shifts are really dramatic and unpredictable. This roll, yes, it did shift pretty magenta, but some of the results were pretty awesome. I don't really know how well this film was stored, but honestly, apart from the magenta, I got some really cool underexposed shots. I'm really in love with these shots from the airport. And if you are wondering, I had a wedding to go to in Ohio, which I was there for like 10 minutes, otherwise I would have tried to do some collab videos with the old camera guy and Knob Top, but I was in Ohio for such a brief time, like you could have sneezed and missed me, so I'll be back. The roll of TriX felt really nostalgic for me. TriX is the film I started out on, it's the film my dad used, so I have a real connection to this film. I shot some of these photos with Knob Top, so he was my wonderful model for those photos. I feel like the vignette is a lot more prominent on these black and white photos, probably because of the contrast. But for the bulk of this roll, I actually did a bunch of light trails. Light trails are really special to me because when I got my first big boy camera, you know, this Minolta Maxim 7000, I think it is, I don't remember. The shutter was actually malfunctioning on it, so it would just kind of expose however long it wanted to. You know, like you could set it to 1/60th and it would be like, 30 seconds, cool. So the only thing I could really reliably do was shoot at night and take these long exposures. And those were some of the first prints I ever made in a darkroom that I was really proud of. And here's the thing, there's nothing technically amazing about these photos, but for me it was a moment. It was kind of the first time where I was working within these limitations, so it was a big deal. Last but not least, the Lomochrome Purple. I am really stoked about the results from this roll. At least some of them.
Ew!
Some of the colors were really great, and this composition, not gonna lie, I'm a big fan. But I was certainly not a big fan of everything on this roll. So big shocker, mistakes were made. For like half of this roll, I accidentally left the camera on bulb mode, so the photos are all blurry. Me and my massive brain over here. Some of them kind of worked out. I thought this one was kinda cool. But enough about my innumerable mistakes. Let's look at these photos. Now that you've seen a bunch of the photos, I want to take a quick second to talk about the camera itself. The 135BC is a plastic toy 35mm camera. It's very simple to use, and of course, it's very lo-fi. I found out way after I shot these rolls of film that the BC actually doesn't stand for before Christ, it stands for black corners. The camera has an internal mask which adds a soft vignette around the corners of the frame. The 135BC boasts a plastic 47mm f8 lens, which obviously isn't the sharpest lens on the planet. The camera of course has a bulb mode, which you'll remember I accidentally engaged for half a roll, which was excellent. But it really is a perfect pairing with the threaded shutter release button and the tripod socket on the bottom of the camera. When in the normal mode, the shutter speed is approximately 1/100th of a second. The camera also has a switch for sunny and cloudy days, which switches the aperture between f11 and f8 respectively. There's also a hot shoe on board, so you can use a flash. Perhaps if you adequately smash the like button on this video, I'll make another video about using a flash on this camera. camera. And a couple of things you want to watch out for. You can absolutely shoot with the lens cap on. I definitely didn't do that at all during this video, but it's because the viewfinder doesn't actually look through the lens, it's just a window. And I really can't emphasize this one enough. Keep an eye on those switches. It is very easy to use the bulb mode or have the wrong sunny day versus cloudy day setting on there and mess up several photos in a row. I had a ton of fun shooting on the Holga 135 BC, and honestly I think this is a great choice for both experienced film photographers and people who are just looking to get into film photography. So hey, it might make an excellent gift for that loved one in your life who happens to be a photographer. This video is now over.
Like and subscribe. Sweet Loop Photography. Dumb man.